Canadians of all backgrounds agree police in this country are much harsher on Black and Indigenous Canadians than against the general population. These are the findings from a new Abacus data survey produced exclusively for City News. Sociologists studying policing say this marks a big shift in attitudes.
We've been conducting similar research, and we've just actually published a very similar study. White Canadians 20 years ago were not as in tune with the presence of discrimination within policing as clearly this survey has demonstrated they are now.
34% of Canadians said they experienced some kind of discrimination from police. Among Black Canadians who took part in the survey, that number rose to 60%, a significant increase even when factoring a higher margin of error because of the smaller sample. The survey also showed that over 80% of Canadians agreed that Black Canadians were regarded with more suspicion, more use of force, and more severe charges by police. Among Black Canadians surveyed, over half said they frequently faced more suspicion and more use of force.
Black and Indigenous Canadians for a very long time have been documenting in different ways, whether that be through verbal stories as well as writing the harassment and violence they receive at the hands of the police. But these, were often taken as anecdotal stories until we started to get good data around this.
Opinions on Indigenous policing were similar, with 90% of Canadians saying Indigenous people were treated with more suspicion by police. This comes as police leaders nationwide reverse track, saying systemic racism does exist after previously wavering.
The RCMP has had a lot of attention to issues of gender-based discrimination as of recent. And of course, one would think in the context of those discussions that broader discussions about discrimination and inequality within the RCMP, both in terms of how its members are treated as well as how the public are treated, would have been acknowledged.
Now, the poll took answers from 1,750 Canadians of all backgrounds. White Canadians still made up the majority of respondents at 1,131. But this means that it's not just marginalized people now raising the alarm. Most Canadians can agree that Indigenous and Black Canadians experience some form of discrimination at the hands of police. In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.